in the next 5 to 10 years, people we know will build. I don't want to use dollar figures because whatever. They'll build successful endeavors that they never thought they could, and it will scale. And they'll come back as excited as they were, just as apprehensive. But now they're excited about what they've built, and it's going to happen, and it is happening. And I'm excited for some things that I'm participating in with people from Content Crib that we're doing now. I mean, a whole sales training program that Mike and Jerry are putting together that's just awesome. All right. No, I'm not being held hostage.
I was going to say, do you have to announce a separation, or is this just a new, a partial temporary stay?
This is a temporary stay. As you put it so well, this is my flop apartment. I'm having lots of construction done to my house, and I have to be out of my house for about 30 to 60 days, so I'm in a hotel. So I've brought the whole entire studio here, and I'm set up next to the efficiency kitchen, which I can, during one of our streams, I can make some food or whatever you need me to do. It's a whole new look for us.
Well, that's why I'm so impressed by you, because you are travel ready with the podcast studio. You take it to Maine, you take it to Flop Apartments, you take it to Vegas, bullet hole houses. We need to do an episode or two definitely in Content Crib this fall for sure, in the mansion. Did we rebook the house?
Yeah, unfortunately it's not available right now. Man. I'm gonna send. Thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna send her a note. I'm gonna actually send her a text and say, hey, if at all possible, if they cancel, please think of us first. But yeah, it is currently not available. So I actually had Matthew send me over some other options, so I'm looking right now. I'll share them with you. But yeah, the hope is to get back to the Jackson house there in Bentonville. That'd be the plan. And we've bantied about a little bit of Content Crib thoughts on what we're going to go through. I love the productivity kind of centric type idea, and I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, we were talking about the Content Crib coming up this fall and how pumped we are, and that we're going to teach everybody a lot of our tech stack and AI tools. There's been no better time to build a business and build your brand at the same time. People are looking for help, looking for specialists, and we're going to share with everybody, what we use during our day jobs and more, how to make us more efficient, how to build our brands, how to build businesses, and how you can do it together with people in the room, which has been super successful, as we've seen from the last Content Crib. I was just on a call with a Content Crib attendee asking about what's happening for the next one and how sad they missed the last one, because it was all about partnering up and building business together. And they just recognized, and everybody recognized, how crucial and important that is to be able to team up and expand. It's really hard doing something on your own like that. A lot of us, most of us grew up and, you go to school, you go to class together, you join a company, you're working with people, you're held accountable. Going off on your own is a scary thing. So if you can learn the tools and then partner up, I see no better combination.
Yeah. And I would tell anybody who's listening right now, it's like, this is going to be the healthcare productivity meeting that I think it's going to be one of the first of its kind. It really is, because I don't think that several people are kind of always out on an island. We talk about this, with our community, that we're no longer out on an island. Several of us are working together on different projects and doing different things. And this is going to be all about productivity, tech stack, how to incorporate AI, what that can all look towards your business and how you can utilize it to be successfgoing I'm excited because I'm looking forward to learning from people. That I'm looking forward to learning what people what they're utilizing in their day-to-day businesses. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I started to purposely create this new persona brand online, and called Strythrex Guy. And so
this is blowing up.
I haven't even released it yet. I haven't released it. I've just kind of teased it the last probably week or so, and it's all humor. I've had some messages like, "Hey man, you need to stop making fun of Striker guys and Arthrex guys." listen, it has nothing to do with Stryker or Arthrex. It was just a cool name that I figured out, put together, and it's all humor. It's just going to be all fun, and I'm going to show step by step too. I'm going to do it within our newsletter, which is now called 1 + 1 = 3, and in our community, how you can build your public trust architecture, your personal brand, whatever that may look like. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm doing it with Strythrex Guy. So it's going to be fun. Plus, I get to act like an idiot, and which is something that I do very well.
I mean, I think it's genius. To be able to do, a lot of it won't be satire, which is the funniest part about it, because exactly what goes on with some of the, besides some of these doors and these medtech reps. I would just keep wondering, like, when you're going to get the cease and desist letters, that don't mean anything, that I can't do anything about. But, just the Strythrex Guy exaggerating medical device sales stereotype is just going to be hilarious.
Well, it's so I had some legal counsel look at what I've done, and I have not copied the logo in any way, shape, or form. I am not, they're all just letters. And so this is my first statement on the whole subject, that this in no way, shape, or form is meant to replicate or infer that I am representing any organization that has names similar to the logo or the name that has been created. That's it. That's what I have to say. Kind of like allegedly. If you say that before anything, you can say whatever you want, I guess.
I love the line, 10 on the jersey, 0 career minutes, President's Club, 4 years running.
Built by third stringers. Because, okay, I'll just say it. Because you meet a lot of these guys, with the fake Rolexes and the on clouds that match their scrubs, and they tell you all about. This is terrible. They tell you all about their sports, past and their legendary feats and accomplishments, and then you realize real quick, you're like, he was like a third or fourth stringer. Like, what the heck? He didn't even play in the game. So we're gonna kind of talk about that.
Yeah, one of them infiltrated the compounding pharmacy space, and I had to work with them for like a brief 4 months, and I'm like, I am out of here. See you later. I was like. And even like the reps that work for me that were working alongside him were like, I am sick of hearing his washed up baseball stories, and he's really not a good leader. And yeah.
Yep. So
and then everyone else left right after I did. So
there you go. Well, firsthand then. Yeah.
I got a little bit of it. Being someone that's not in the medical device space per se. I mean, my wife is, so I hear a little bit, but it's so specialized. It's not like the orthopedics and spine, which is just overrun by washed up athletes, which I can't blame them. Like, it's a good space for them to move into, but it's just funny that there is a little bit of a caricature behind it. And unfortunately, not everybody is like that, but some are, and it makes it funny. So
yeah. No,
you got to run with it. You
definitely,
have to run
the
with
vast majority are not like that, but it's just the few that stick out in people's memory, and we're definitely gonna have some fun with it. We're gonna have some fun with it and take it on the road places and all kinds of different stuff.
Well, I think it's important explain why you're doing it, because I think everyone should know. I mean, I think it has a lot to, and you tell me, but a lot of people are sounding exactly the same, right? Between all the AI slop and kind of trying to sound like the smartest person in the room. I think satire has a place, and you can build a successful brand and business around sticking out and being yourself and adding humor.
Yeah, well, it's you hit the nail on the head, and I told you why. It's everybody listening to this podcast right now can create content. You can go to Claude, you can put exactly what you want to have come out of it, and it will, and you can post it, and if people don't think you're genuine, they're not going to listen, they're not going to read, they're not going to care. It's everybody can be competent at content right now. The difference is people are going to migrate to those who are genuine. I think a lot of it's going to have to do with video. Because you can't. All these companies are telling you can replicate people. The AI, these different avatars and things like that. You can still tell. I think you're always going to be able to tell. Because some people who kind of pull a lever where they mess up and make stupid comments, that's the lever you need to pull. Anyway, but I do know that genuine content works, and people are starting to complain, or they're complaining that they're just not getting traction with what they're doing online. And so I need to get another hobby, but I went to, just kind of sat and thought, okay, how is this going to work? So I'm just going to build this Strythrex Guy persona and this Strythrex Guy character online. I'm going to show everybody how I'm doing it, and I'm going to go step by step. I'm going to do it in the newsletter that we have, and it's free. I'm not trying to sell you anything, and just show that anybody can build a public trust architecture as long as you're genuine and you do the right things. You can do it. And the funny thing is, there's several of these guys that are out there now on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, who are using satire to do it. And satire, I think it's why. Anyway, we can go really deep down a rabbit hole. Why I think comedians are doing so well now is because people want to laugh. They want to see genuine talent. They want to see genuine material, and they're not seeing it because of AI. And so a lot of people are migrating that way. Will it change? Maybe, but I'm going to build Strythrex Guy and let it flourish. Yeah, it's so hard because I'm always like talking in the third person, or I'm like, "Are you Strythrex Guy?" Am I not? Like, anyway. So Strythrex Guy is his own persona, his own person, but it'll look very similar to me in the future. So there you go. That's it.
I'm excited to see how it shakes out, and if you need content, development or tips, I would love to participate.
Oh, I'm going to lean on you for sure. I've seen lots of pictures of you like all over the country these days. Like, I didn't even know you were going to Vegas, and all of a sudden there was a picture of you. I was like, "There's a picture of you in Vegas," and I was like, "Okay, well, there you go." Yeah. It was nice and cool out there.
Yeah, it was 110 degrees, but no, it was good. Out of the pool was very hot, but it was nice. Now we had a one of those. It was a specialized conference for one of our biggest clients, so that ran, with a bunch. So it was time well spent, for sure. But yeah, it was a good time. But I do want to come back to the content crib discussion because I think it's super important. And
yeah.
I think it's based off kind of like the myth that we're trying to bust here, which I think is really important, right? So institutional medicine is getting eroded. I think we both can agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, the consolidation is not slowing, right? So like non-physician entities own most of U.S. practices across the country. So that's the scary part. But I do think that there's such a big opportunity, and I have physicians and medtech salespeople, marketers like ask me all the time, like, how do I build alongside what I'm doing or get out of what I'm doing to launch my own thing, right? So, and I think the myth that we're busting is that AI is coming to replace humans in healthcare. And I really believe, and I know you do too, the opposite really is true. I think AI is replacing the institution's monopoly on infrastructure, which ultimately is going to set the humans free, right? So
yep.
all these tools enable you as a physician, as a clinic owner, as a medtech marketer to build your brand, build your voice, and then put a structure and business around it. So I think the question is not, will AI take my job? I think the question needs to be for people that listen to this podcast and attend the next Content Crib is, what do I do with the leverage it just gave me? And I really think by the end, the attendees at Content Crib 7.0 will understand the actual tech stack, an independent practice runs on, or what a medtech marketer can use and what it means for anyone who sells or wants to become or build something like this. So I think they'll leave with the knowledge, the tools, so the edge is on their side.
Man, that's so well said, because I totally agree with you. I think, and this goes for surgeon employees as well of large IDNs. everyone wants to build something. Let's just say everybody. Let me use the words that people that come to us want to build something for themselves. They want to build something, whether that's just a brand so people come to see them. I mean, everybody wants to have more patients. They want to be known as the expert in this field, or that they run their own clinic and they want to have the tools in order to build something. And I think this content crib, more than any other one that we've done, we're gonna open up the playbook on our tech stacks, how we integrate AI into utilizing whatever different platforms and or tools to give us back our time to do the things that we need to be doing. Because I mean, that's reality. I had this conversation with somebody this weekend. They were, like, oh, I'm scared to death of what AI can do. And I was like, I get it on a lot of levels, but we were also scared when QuickBooks came out that all the accountants would be gone or all the bookkeepers would be gone, and that didn't happen.
No, they just scaled.
Yeah, exactly. They created a bigger opportunities for themselves and more opportunities for themselves. It's just a tool. It's it's when the computer came, we didn't, same thing. And it's the reality of a lot of when new technology tools come about. There's apprehension there, but do I have my suspicions on what AI could be used for that's nefarious? Yep, I sure do, and I don't like it. But on the other side of it, I also realize for me, I can now do so many different things with just a couple of keystrokes that I wasn't able to do before with AI and agents and all that different stuff. So I'm excited about it.
I'm excited too. And the reality is the old career advice was binary, right? Stay captured by the institution or take the leap and quit. Both are wrong now. The move very few are talking about is building your own brand and your own business alongside the W-2. And that is exactly what we talk about. Your W-2 isn't your ceiling. It's just the beginning of what you can do. It's just as Matthew always talks about and you talk about, it's just a 15-degree pivot, you know, and if you look back, it's not that long ago. 5 years ago, I really think building something on your own meant you had to leave and bet the house. And we both know that's no longer true. That the AI, content tools, personal brand infrastructure that we talk about, means a rep or a surgeon can build a real business on, nights, weekends with almost no capital.
Yeah.
And while this is all happening, the ground under, the W-2 life that, I have, you don't have, you own your own businesses. That consolidation is peaking and autonomy is gone. And the paycheck is not the safety that it used to be. So, to me, it's, it's optionality now while the tools are cheap and the market's wide open.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that in the next 5 to 10 years, people we know will build, and I don't want to use dollar figures because whatever, they'll build successful endeavors that they never thought they could, and will scale, and they'll come back as excited as they were, just as apprehensive, but now they're excited about what they've built, and it's going to happen, and it is happening, and I'm excited for some things that I'm participating in with people from Content Crib that we're doing now. I mean, a whole sales training program that Mike and Jerry are putting together that's just awesome. I mean, they went over it with me, and I was like, phew, this is going to be great. So, and that would have never happened 5 years ago, never in a million years. So here we are. So it's exciting.
No, it's exciting, and I think that it's important. Everybody wants to not have that, the W-2 just be the only, have the leverage over them, right? So it's important to de-risk the exit before you ever need it.
Yep.
You may never quit, but you should never be trapped. And that's kind of what it's taken 3+ years, 4 years of trying to understand and how to, build alongside, where I know that I am more valuable probably than most W-2s want to, eventually pay me in a couple more years of development, right? But we can teach you how to do that quicker than the years it's taking us to understand that. And that's what we can pass along in all of the content cribs, but especially now with the one coming up with the tools that we provide. So, if you're a medtech rep, you spend every single waking moment and day building your company's brand and pipeline. You're a walking case study and creating equity for someone else. Point that exact skill at yourself. And on the flip side, if you're a surgeon, your name is the most valuable and undervalued asset in medicine. You know that. And the hospital markets its brand off your hands, and you own none of it. So start owning that.
Yeah. That's very well said. I mean, you don't have to anymore feel trapped, and you can, people can know you before they meet you, and it's the magic word. It's free, or maybe you might even get some software that will help you do it for $19 a month. Instead of 2 Starbucks coffees, you'll be able to build your brand.
Well, I was just talking to one of our content cribbers that's built a fantastic marketing engine newsletter with thousands of subscriptions, and he's like, well, I'm not monetizing it yet, but I said to him, like, you have multi 6 figures in value in the asset that you've built.
Yeah.
Eventually monetize it, but monetize it wisely. And he's building a SaaS tool and all that. And I think that's great. But that's what people I think have a hard time wrapping their head around, is like, how do I monetize that? How do I monetize this brand? It's like, well, you need to first build that asset and build that following, and then get those people, in your community and in your funnel by creating an audience. And then you can do that with certain ways we'll talk about, it in Content Group coming up, newsletters and such, by using AI tools to help create those.
Yeah. And when somebody ever asks me, well, how do I monetize that? I would say start. You'll eventually monetize it. You got to start. And that's where a lot of people are stuck. So if you want to get unstuck, come to Content Crib.
Yep. By the end, you'll understand why building alongside whatever you're doing, whether it's, you're a surgeon or clinic owner or working for a hospital, or you're a marketer or C-suite, that building alongside your W-2 is the smartest career move in medtech and medicine right now. And we'll help you figure that out.
Yep. And at the same time, you can only enhance what you're doing at your W-2. So
exactly.
It'll be fun. All right. Well, we're back from vacations. We're back from the hinterlands of out west, and I'm in my flop apartment, so all is good.
All right.
See ya.
That's a wrap.